So what I want to cover then quickly now is the way that we're thinking. Now, we've already touched on it, and I just want to recap this a bit, that the way that we think determines the way that we feel. Because if we think negatively about something in our relationship, something at work, something about ourselves, then our monkey, our brain, in our limbic system, there isn't a real monkey, but as we know, we call it the monkey mind, that reacts to that thought as if it was real and happening now. Yes? So, we're just a quick recap on what our brain's like. So our brain, our monkey, reacts to thoughts as if they were real events. It encourages us to think constantly about past and future events because it's addictive. It wants to keep going over things. It wants to keep thinking about things in the past. It wants to keep thinking about things in the future. And because the default setting is to look at the worst case scenario, it's negative all the time, yes? And then it doesn't really tell the difference between like a polar bear attack and somebody saying something nasty about us on Facebook or whatever it might be in the office. It reacts to it as if it were a polar bear attack, yes? So this is the way that our brain's working. So we have to start applying these things, responsibility and discipline. We are responsible for how we feel because only we are responsible for how we think. Yes? So, as you said earlier, Sam, about this comment that somebody made, previous version of you would have blamed them for you being upset, but you've taken responsibility about how you feel, and you've applied discipline by not thinking about the thing that would have previously caused you to be upset. So this responsibility and discipline are words that most people don't like, but they are really key to this process. To start, whenever it is that we are feeling, whatever it is that we're feeling, if we're feeling stressed or angry or frustrated or annoyed or jealous or spiteful or irritable or whatever it is, we point the finger outwards and we blame the government, or we blame our boss or our partner or our children or our parents or something, somebody, some event, some situation. But the real reality is, and lots of people don't like hearing this, but that doesn't mean it isn't true, and I'm not going to say it, it's down to us. So the perfect example that you gave, you recognise that it was what was different in this situation is it was how you were thinking about it. Yes? So we need to start practicing. So this is our next thing over the next few days. Really start taking responsibility for how we're feeling by taking responsibility for how we're thinking. Because the thoughts that we have determine the neurochemicals that we produce. If we think negative thoughts, if we think critical thoughts, if we think judgmental thoughts, then we will be producing neurochemicals that make us feel anxious or frustrated or annoyed or stressed. Whereas if we can start thinking more positive, more constructive, more loving, more compassionate, more grateful thoughts, then we're producing a different set of neurochemicals and we will feel completely differently. Yes? Because recognize that the way that you feel is internal. External things don't determine how you're feeling inside. It's the neurochemicals that you're producing in your brain, in your body, that determine how you feel from moment to moment. And that is then that is dictated by how you're thinking about the events that are happening around you, or just the thoughts in your head, thinking about yourself, the way that you choose to think about yourself. If you choose to think, oh, I look fat and grumpy and miserable in what I'm wearing or whatever, then that's how you're going to feel. And so, does that empower you? So start to take notice of your thoughts and think, hang on a minute, is this thought empowering? Is this thought in my own best interest? Is this thought helping me to evolve into the person that I want to become? Yes or no? And then have the responsibility to change the thoughts and the discipline just to keep doing it. That makes sense?
Yes.